What's hot in the stock world right now? Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, the entire cryptocurrency sphere as a whole. And I'm not going to get into the entire, what do you do, what should you do, and all this stuff. That's not me. What I'm going to talk about here kind of relates to it, because sometimes when you have an asset, you have something that is like Bitcoin or Ethereum and all that right now on the decline. You have something that's going down and going down and going down, and you're like, okay, I should have set my stop loss a lot earlier. What in the world is going on here? And you're like, all right, well, I've lost a lot of money. I don't want to lose any more. Let's just back out of this position right here. I don't care if I lost like $2,000 or whatever. Sell. Okay, I'm good that that's over. And then immediately after you sell, oh my goodness, it's going back up again. Oh man, if I just held on for a few more seconds, I could have made an extra $20-$30. Selling low, eh? Not really the best thing in the world to do. And it doesn't feel great either. And when it comes to the St. Louis Blues hockey team, oh boy, we might, I don't want to say we are, but I want to say we might be on the cusp of seeing one of these selling at the bottom of the pail kind of stories here. Because when it comes to the insiders and the rumors, we had ourselves an article by Frank Seravalli, not of TSN, but of dailyfaceoff.com. Yes, that is right. Frank Seravalli has made the switch over. He is now a part of Daily Faceoff, that website that has the line combinations. Very good for him. Nice to see him branching out his career. But he posted an article on Daily Faceoff the other day talking about some icebreakers. The latest on Vlad Tarasenko, Tony DeAngelo, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Now again, this is Frank Seravalli we're talking about here, not some random Joe who is going out here talking about whatever he thinks should happen. This is a legitimate NHL insider who has come out with a whole bunch of breaking stories in the past. And this article from the other day goes over one guy I wanted to discuss on the St. Louis Blues. Vladimir Tarasenko. The Blues are exploring a trade for winger Tarasenko. While he does hold the cards with a full no-trade clause, upon further vetting, it appears the player has alerted the St. Louis Blues to several teams that he would be willing to be dealt to. A change of scenery is in order. Tarasenko, who is 29 years old, has 2 years remaining on his deal of $7.5 million per season, and he has played just 34 games total over the last 2 seasons as a result of a recurring shoulder injury. But those issues have been corrected, and he is currently healthy. And so now you take a look at this and you say, darn, bro, Vladimir Tarasenko is very legitimately on the trade market right now. And it's not just an, he wants out, or, the Blues are trying to trade him. It's, he wants out, and the Blues are trying to trade him. Both things going on at the same time. And now you take a look back at the Bitcoin analogy here. Take a look at selling low before an asset skyrockets back up there because Elon Musk makes a tweet about it or whatever. This is honestly something that I don't really know how I feel about, because Vladimir Tarasenko to me is, at his absolute best, one of the best goal scorers in this entire league. It's just that he was plagued by injuries, man. He's 29 years old, 6 feet tall, 225 pounds, an absolute tank he is. Left-handed right-wing forward, who, as Seravalli mentioned, is making 7.5 AAV until 2023. So he's got 2 years left after this one, and we all remember what he did in his most recent full season of play, 68 points, 33 goals in 76 games played, as the Blues ended up winning a championship. He had 11 goals in that playoff run, an absolute beast. However, the shoulder injuries, man, they really took a toll on him. 10 games played at the beginning of the season last year. He had 10 points, so that was really good. He came back in the playoffs against Vancouver, and he really didn't look all too great. But then it was kind of revealed, okay, we have some more shoulder stuff to do. He's not really the healthiest, and it's why he only played 24 games in 2021, and he had 14 points too. If you do the math here, 14 divided by 24 multiplied out by 82 is on pace for about 48 points. And if you take his 4 goals, well, that's on pace for about 13. So it's not really the best compared to what we know Tarasenko was able to do, but still, the injuries prevailed. They were a subject of contention. And in the postseason, I mean, he had 2 goals in the 4-game sweep of the Blues by the Colorado Avalanche, but 2 of those goals came in Game 4. He actually looked really good, sniping it out like we know Vladimir Tarasenko is capable of doing. But now, when we hear from Frank Seravalli that the injuries to his shoulders are completely gone, it's said right here in the piece, man, those issues have been corrected and he is healthy. Now we're in a position where if Tarasenko came back and he played a full 82-game season, I would not be surprised in the slightest if this guy bounced back, he started scoring a heck of a lot of goals, he broke 20, maybe 25, maybe even 30 or 35, who knows, he's that good when he is on top of his game, especially now that he is healthy. And to hear that the St. Louis Blues might be trading this guy because he wants a change of scenery, and they would just be willing to comply, it really starts to creep me out because of what I believe Tarasenko could be next season as a full and healthy hockey player. Now, I know there are a lot of perspectives to combat this and say, okay, well, I mean, he wants a change of scenery because he's been here, he's been slowed down. You can't blame the player for actually giving out a list of teams he would be okay to be traded to and complying with the Blues' ideas of trading him. Furthermore, for the Blues, you cannot be betting $7.5 million a season, especially as a team who is as close to the cap as the Blues are, on a player like Tarasenko, whose overall success isn't really all too guaranteed. Like, come on, I know how good he can be. You know how good he can be too, but at the end of the day, we cannot definitively say he will score 20 goals, he will be this good, he will be doing all this, he will return to prime Tarasenko in 2021-2022. He just can't. I said that I think he could, and I probably would bet that he would because I'm a very big believer in Tarasenko, but, you know, I'm not a fool. Well, I think I am kind of a fool. It's just not guaranteed. And so now we have these ideas over here about the Blues trading Tarasenko, a guy who might be able to score 35, 40 goals in a year if he is healthy. And we also have another tweet from NHL Rumours Daily that I wanted to talk about here. Before anybody calls me out, oh, BS sources, what are you doing? Just taking a look at anybody who says anything they want on Twitter. NHL News Rumours Daily, man, this hockey Twitter account is honestly pretty legit. There is somebody who is in the know who runs this account. This account, as I said before, they broke the Tyler Toffoli the Montreal news, they broke the Lake Tahoe news, they've tweeted so many things that ended up actually happening in real life that this is a legit source in my opinion. And they tweeted out the other day saying that they're hearing the LA Kings are one of the several teams interested in Blues winger Vladimir Tarasenko. And my first instinct upon hearing that the Kings were interested in this guy was, okay, why? I mean, the Kings aren't really supposed to be good anytime soon. I mean, okay, maybe give it 4 or 5 years and they'll be really good again. But Tarasenko's making X amount of money until 2023. And he's 29 years old right now. By the time he gets a contract extension, he'll be 31. Who knows how good he'll be over there? Who knows how healthy he'll be by then as well? Because, I mean, 2 years down the line is still 2 years down the line. So for a rebuilding franchise like LA, unless they're going out there thinking that they're going to start contending sooner rather than later, I personally don't really see a reason as to why they would want to go out there and acquire a guy who is probably re-entering his prime in Tarasenko. I say re-entering. I was not going to say entering because, man, he was already going out there scoring a whole bunch of goals earlier on in his career. What do you think, there's another gear to unlock there? I'm not sure about that. But for LA to be interested in Tarasenko, it indicates to me that there might indeed be some form of a different philosophy within that team than I am identifying on the outside as a fan here. Because if you're going to trade for Tarasenko, I mean, you're not going to be able to send some significant money back, right? The Blues aren't going to accept that. They're not going to accept some cheaper guy who's less valuable on the ice than Tarasenko is, because then you'd just be losing the trade. You'd have to send away prospects, you'd have to send away picks. The Blues are a cap-strapped team. So with the stuff with Schwartz going on and all this other cap mumbo-jumbo material they have to work with, if you're trading Tarasenko, you're not going to get a whole bunch of money coming back. It's just kind of the way it goes. So the only thing you're relying on here, it's prospects, it's picks, it's young guys, entry-level deals who can be impact players at the NHL level. And I guess LA has a lot of those guys. It's just, would you really want to trade a Gabe Vilardi for Vladimir Tarasenko, or a few of your really good prospects, Anderson, Dolan, Fajimo, and Bjornfot, for a Tarasenko? I mean, Tarasenko, if he's absolutely guaranteed to being healthy, I'm pretty sure he's worth so much more than what I'm just saying off the dome right here. But because Tarasenko is a maybe at this point, because so many times we've seen in the past NHL players saying, oh yeah, I'm 100% healthy. GM saying, oh yeah, they're 100% ready to go, but they're just not. Michael Furlan's the one that comes to my mind as an example because they kept on bringing him back. They said, okay, yeah, he's good. The Canucks are like, yeah, he's fine. And then no, he's not fine. This same thing happens all the time in the NHL. And so even though we're hearing that Tarasenko is healthy, until we see him potting up 20 goals, 25 goals a year again, I don't buy it, although I want it to be true very, very much, which is why I choose to believe it. But you know what? If it doesn't happen that way, I'm not going to say I'm going to be surprised. So talk to me in the comments what you think about the Kings maybe going after Tarasenko, the Blues even entertaining the idea of a Tarasenko trade in the first place, because all that stuff is so widely interesting to me. Check out the channel at about 3:30 p.m. PDT, not PST, it's PDT over here. I'm in Vancouver for our Game 2 live stream of the Habs versus the Lightning. Talk to me in the comments what you think about all this stuff. I hope you enjoyed. This was Trolls 99, and bye.